In Chapter 1 of his book, Transforming Culture, a Challenge for Christian Mission, Sherwood Lingenfelter speaks of culture in general as being inextricably infected by sin. Now, let me say that again. Inextricably infected by sin. He describes culture as a prison. Here's what he has to say. The first task is understanding our prison and the cultural prisons of others. The notion of a prison of disobedience is repulsive to many. We often picture a prison as a medieval dungeon, deep underground in a stone castle with bars, clanking iron doors, and a small trap door through which the keeper thrusts our daily rations of moldy bread and water. No wonder readers resist this conceptualization of culture. Perhaps a different illustration will help. A beautiful walled park in the center of Seoul, Korea, contains the homes, gardens, and servant quarters of the king and royal family. During the 19th century, the king and his family occupied this famous residence, the Palace of the Secret Garden. Because of his extremely high status, custom declared that the king could not leave the palace grounds. He was, in fact, a prisoner in his palace. However, life within the walls was magnificent. He enjoyed the most beautifully furnished, heated, and decorated living quarters in Korea. He had household servants to care for every need. He enjoyed a beautiful garden and pond where the scholars, poets, and artists in Korea came to do their work. The only catch, he was a political prisoner, unable to see and experience the outside world. To compensate for this deprivation, he had a second built on the back of the palace grounds. This palace, decorated in black and white, gave the king the illusion of what it was like to live in the commoner world, outside of the palace walls. But it was only an illusion. He lived in his prison unaware of the pain, poverty, and freedom of the life of a commoner. Lingenfelter goes on to point out how Satan, when he tempted Jesus, claimed authority over the kingdoms of the world. I would add, Ephesians 2, the world and its ways are described in a way that is parallel with Satan's claim. Paul said that before the Ephesians had come to faith in Jesus Christ, that they walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, of the spirits now working in the sons of disobedience. Paul goes on to point out, among them we too all formerly lived in the lusts of our flesh, indulging in the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature children of wrath, even the rest. Ephesians 2, 2-3. We too all formerly lived. Every one of us in one of Earth's cultures lived that way pre-Christ. Lingenfelter goes on, cultural palaces are our prisons. Culture, economy, and state are Satan's to rule as God allows. The church is called out, the people of God, to live in a world of many cultures as strangers and pilgrims. 1 Peter 2:11. To one degree or another, every culture is under the dominion of Satan. Since family life is part of culture, God's people in every culture have to work to do so. We must model and teach a better way of doing family. That is a tall order, but that is the quest of this class.